He's the popular Al Leiter, MLB Network analyst. He won the World Series 3 times. You can watch Al, part of MLB Network's live coverage before and after every World Series game from Globe Life Field, including on MLB Tonight. Al, thanks for joining us here. I've been talking about this. This was a bullpen game for the Dodgers yesterday. This is game 2 of the World Series. I know I'm old. I know I'm old school. But where are we going with pitching in baseball? What is or am I missing out on what is the trend already here?
Oh, I don't, by the way, good morning, Dan.
Good morning,
you look good. Yeah. I hope this isn't a trend because watching playoff games or any Major League Baseball game with each respective team using 5, 6, 7, 8 pitchers isn't fun watch for me. Obviously, as a starting pitcher, I always lean to give the guy an extra inning, all of this whole debate as to whether it was, the guy had 78 pitches, Clayton Kershaw's a great pitcher. Should we send him out for the next inning? He looked great to me. Yeah, I would send him out for another inning. So the inclination of all of the matchups with the analytics and with all of the reams of data, et cetera, that's being used, they're being pushed now to in the coach's room, in the manager's office, with the discussion that this matchup is better because of X. And I don't like it. I think there should be more of a gut. I know managers are more inclined to have to answer to it because it wasn't a collaborative a decision. It was on a whim. I don't like it. But it also comes to this, Dan. Gonsolin, I think it's a matter of the roster. And as great as the Dodgers are, and through and through, 28 players this year, but 25-man roster, what that front office has done, Andrew Friedman, is they've created a very deep roster that covers a lot, right? So we've been talking about the Dodgers for the longest time, but the truth is, it doesn't go much deeper than that. And you look at what the Dodgers did this winter, of course, with David Price, electing to not play really hurt them. And then with Kershaw's back, for him to not be able to go game 2 in the LCS, it created this problem, which is what they have. And you have a good pitcher, good arm, Gonsolin and Dustin May and all these guys that are, on the come, but they're, they don't have 4 starters, the bottom line, for as good as the team is.
I know.
And I don't like it. I'm with you. I don't think this is by design, although these two teams are very analytically driven, which means just a lot of levels of statistics that convince the coaches and manager that this is a good decision. But I think if they had 3 or 4 Clayton Kershaws or Walker Buehler tonight, they'd much rather have that guy than to, ham and egg it for a start.
I'm wondering, though, is the starting pitcher, is it 5 innings now? 6 innings at the most, it feels like. Like, how tired can they possibly be? They pitched like 40 innings total this year. This is, I don't know. Help me understand this.
I know, Dan. Look, you're talking to a guy who had in my second full year in the big leagues in April against Minnesota. Dallas Green was the manager of the Yankees. He kept me in for 160 plus pitches. And then after the game, they asked him, they said, "What were you doing?" I'm 23 years old. They said he was trying to stretch Leiter out. Oh my God. I couldn't brush my teeth or,
comb your hair, wipe your.
I comb my hair for a couple of days. So somewhere between 78 pitches to 160, somewhere in between. Although I was appreciative of what Bobby Valentine did in Game 5 of, can't believe it, Dan, 20 years. I guess I'm getting old, but with the 2000 World Series with the Mets-Yankees and Bobby V keeping me out there for the 9th inning, I ended up throwing 140 plus pitches. To this day, I thank Bobby for it. We end up losing to the Yankees 4-2. It's just not interesting for me. And it's an easy trigger. You're creating rosters that have a plethora of guys that aren't really good at their craft, but they can throw really hard.
Yeah.
And in doing so, plus velocity, you get away with mistakes. You're going to miss your spots. But if I could get this dude to come in here and throw an inning and a third, get his butt out of there and get the next guy that throws 98. And then it's just this churning and recycling of player development of trying to accumulate arms that throw really hard, but they're really not pitchers.
I brought this up to Jessica Mendoza yesterday. I said, will we have a counter puncher, somebody who goes counter like Whitey Herzog's Cardinals in the mid-'80s, where I got speed, defense. I'm going to drive you crazy. We're going to get on base. We're going to run. We're not going to be sitting dead red waiting for home runs. And we got pitchers that are going to have you put the ball in play. Could you see somebody doing that?
Well, we saw with the Braves. I thought that was a heck of a. By the way, the LCSs were great, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Astros to push it what they did with Tampa Bay, getting to Game 7, and then the Braves being a very good team, but the Dodgers, on paper, definitely better. The Braves ran a lot. I mean, there was I didn't count the total amount of actual stolen bases, but they were trying to push the defense. I love when I see that because I could tell you, Dan, even as a left-hander, as I wasn't great at holding runners. And it was a nuisance. It was a pain. It diverted my attention from the hitter, that me trying to get a hitter out. So I think it will, and it'll only happen with the convincing the GM/owner who pays the bills that this is a good way to go and let's do it. I think you have to, because of the way the defenses shift, with respect to shifting. It's created harder for guys to get the ball in the grass, in between fair ball and in the grass.
What do you think of the shift? I was wondering, and I think the commissioner might join us tomorrow, but what if I just had a line that, catcher, second base, center field, and then your shortstop can't be on that side of the line, or your second baseman can't be on the other side of the line?
I like it. And look, there's illegal defense in basketball and football, and you could create that with as you described it. Somewhere along the line, we could create something, sit down and brainstorm on if we're trying to get guys to put the ball in play more. Apparently, they don't have the ability to go the other way, which blows my mind because I stunk as a hitter. And if I had a huge old hole on the other side, I'd figure out a way to dribble a ball.
But the analytics don't. The analytics aren't in your favor of getting on first base. So what I'm told, on base percentage doesn't matter.
How about if me, you, and 3 other guys just hit little numbers for singles? Guess what? We just scored 2 runs. And now we've applied pressure. So, yeah, I agree with you. And they're getting paid by batting .235, hitting 30-plus home runs, striking out 140 to 160 times, and they get paid. So somewhere along the line, they're like, okay, I'm not going to compensate my swing. I don't have a 2-strike approach, because if I can launch one here, and I'm 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts with a 2-run homer, that was a great night.
We're talking Al Leiter, MLB Network analyst, and won the World Series 3 times. Over your right shoulder, looks like that's a sports Emmy.
It is. Yeah, this is my little office here.
But is that the sports Emmy that should have gone to us? We were up against you guys 2 years in a row, and then you guys won.
I don't know. I'll see. Although this is for the MLB Tonight.
Yeah.
2017 Outstanding Studio Show, Daily.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll put it away. Man. I'll bring this one. This is a local one from the Yes Network when I was doing that. Some analyst, outstanding game, something or other. I don't know. Yeah, that's cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've been nominated 6 times as a studio analyst. Never won, Dan.
But A-Rod gave out the award that night, and I honestly think, I never saw the envelope. I think A-Rod, and we don't have a good relationship, I think A-Rod just said MLB Tonight. I don't know if you guys truly want it. And look, I'm fine with it. I just need to know the truth, because I think there was a little bit of la-la land going on there that night. It felt like we should have won it. Everybody told us, even people from MLB Tonight.
He is friends with Warren Beatty, so maybe he got some ideas there.
Okay. All right. What are the other awards you got there?
This is my most prized award, 2000 Roberto Clemente Award.
Nice.
March of Dimes, Branch Rickey.
Ooh.
Some kind of philanthropic stuff.
That's pretty good.
I don't have a dig me room, Dan. This is it. I have some pictures. Some of my friends have dedicate entire basements to stuff.
Who's got the best man cave of all your baseball friends?
Tom Glavine.
What's Glavine got?
He's got a beautiful home in Atlanta that his entire basement is a museum.
A shrine to him?
Not just him, but a lot of stuff of him. But A lot of stuff. No, it's well done. It's very, very nice. Yeah.
What about Rivera?
I used to collect jerseys at the end of my career for guys that I liked the way they played, the Scott Rowlands and Bagwells, Piazza, others.
Have you been to Mariano Rivera's house?
I have not.
Oh, sorry about that.
How's that look?
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It should be the greatest reliever, 100% guy. Yeah.
Is he the most automatic player in baseball history?
Almost.
Like where you go, I know what is going to happen. Now I know that he had some tragic losses there in playoff games, but for the most part, and nobody could copy. Why couldn't people copy that pitch?
God, I had a cutter. There's guys that have cutters. What Mariano did was his delivery was impeccable. He was the same. If you take a video of Mariano in 95, 96 and then take it right to the end of his career and just superimposed it, other than just being maybe a little heavier and getting older, it was identical. So his ability to be in the same slot and just make the same pitch. And also, Dan, this is the other thing. When I watch games, like I'm watching last night, Dustin May's throwing 100 miles an hour. We're going to watch tonight, Bueller.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. I'm sorry. Yeah, we have a day off.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you. You could get it out. You would mention about analytics. If we're saying that Dan Patrick, we got to bust him inside, curveball in the dirt, I'm going to try to go inside. That's my intent. And I miss, and you pop one up to the shortstop. So you're going to get a whole analytics team to write it down and got him out. And Dan Patrick popped up to short. I missed my spot. And the plan was to exploit your weakness. What Mariano did was he had the unbelievable cutter in that mid-90s range that had late break. And then once you started, he sensed that you were on it, he'd now dot away. Like he was so good at barely ever being in the middle of the plate. And then he had a unique pitch that at the last 6-7 feet just moved.
But how many pitchers do you think could tell the batter what is coming and they wouldn't be able to hit it, aside from Mariano? Because you knew the cutter was coming and they still couldn't hit it. Who else, if you said, hey, I'm fastball, curveball, changeup, whatever, what pitchers would come to mind?
I think Trevor Bauer tried that.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Didn't he? He told
maybe all-time greats I'm looking at. Trevor Bauer, yes. And Zach Greinke, I think, did it too.
Yeah.
Like Steve Carlton throwing his slider was, that.
Yeah, I mean, Randy Johnson comes to mind. I think he was so imposing. The delivery from low 3/4 slot, coming from like first base, like he was scary. Guys didn't want to face him. They're uncomfortable at bats. Roger Clemens, certainly Pedro. There were certain guys where you were beat before that. I got a chance to play with Kevin Brown in 96 and 97. We won the World Series in 97, beat the Indians. In 1996, as a teammate, watching live every single start, I hadn't seen a more dominant pitcher from April until the end of the season than Kevin Brown. He could that year. He could have said, "Here it is, hit it," and guys just couldn't barrel it. Late movement,
and he threw
and plus velocity.
He threw a heavy ball too, right?
Heavy ball, huge sinker, really good slider. Came up with this little split thing. Yeah, he was dominant.
I'm going to submit this tape where you thought the World Series was tonight to the Sports Emmy people. I'm going to sabotage your guys' chances.
Damn it.
Yes.
No wonder why I keep losing that category.
It's great to talk to you, Al.
Yeah, always. Dan.
Thank you, buddy.
Take care. Say hello to everybody.
That's Al Leiter, MLB Network analyst. They win awards, 3-time World Series champ. Yes, Paul.
Right in our face, he had the Sports Emmy in our category.
Cold-blooded.
Do you think that it was on the desk or he put it on the desk?
I could tell you when he set up the Zoom, he was twisting the computer and angling it so all the awards were fronted.
Yeah. Yes, Todd.
But it was still a little hidden in the back. So if he was being cute, he still had, like the Clemente and the Ricky were kind of
was it
more up
really
front.
Hidden?
You could see the globe part of it enough to start thinking what
I think it was hidden just enough for us to notice it.
Oh, what, this?
Oh, this little thing?
Oh. Hardcore.
Yeah, but he thought the World Series was tonight. That's going to come back and haunt him.
Yeah, but he did it on our show, so he's actually just sabotaged us.
Ooh. No, I called him out.
So now you got it back on them.
Yes.